So with 9.1 number 7, we're going to have to do some work to put this in its standard form. So this is an equation of a parabola. And because y is squared, we'll keep y squared on that side, or on the left side. We'll add something new. But now remember, everything else should go to the other side. So if I move the 4x to the other side, it will be positive, and that negative 32 stayed put. So I'm going to write it as 4x minus 32. And then I'm going to take that negative 12 off to the side, divide by 2, I get negative 6. Square it is 36. So if I put a 36 here, I would also have to put a 36 on the right-hand side. So this turns into y minus 6 squared, because I had a negative 6 in the parentheses down there. I just pop it in. And then this turns out to be 4x plus 4. So to really come up with my standard form, I want to write it down as y minus 6 squared. I'm going to factor the 4 out from both of these terms. There is my standard form. Now, when we go to do the vertex, we have to be careful. Grab the x first. And so remember, we see a plus 1 with the x, so that will be a negative 1. And then we do the y, which would be 6. So when you look at the standard form, the opposite is going to be your vertex in the parabola, the center for those other graphs you're doing. The focus then, we have to determine what's going on with our graph. So I left the answer key right there. How do we know it's going sideways? Well, because y is squared, I know my parabola will go left or right. And so then I'm going to do this 4p equals 4. So you bring the 4 down, so I'd equal to 4p, divide by 4 on both sides. I'm getting a p value that is positive 1. So that tells me once I have marked my vertex, I'm going to go to the right for my focus. So if I move to the right 1, I will be at 0, 6 for my focus. And then also, because the p-value is positive, that's how we know that the parabola opens to the right. So when y is squared, or the 4p number sits in front of x, it's opening right or left, sideways. And because p is positive, it's opening to the right. Then the directrix would be this line, the imaginary line. Since I went to the right for the focus, I have to go to the left for the directrix. So if I go to the left one, there's this imaginary line. So remember, our vertex was at negative 1, 6. So if I go to the left, now I'm at x equals negative 2. And so that would be my directrix. When you go to graph it, if they ask you to graph it, you may, you'll go down here and select the parabola tool. And then in graph layers, you can put in your vertex as one of the points, but then you need to find a solution point. So what I would do when I go to find my solution point is, because I see 2 y values, I'm going to let my y be 0. So what that'll do is get rid of those 2, and now I just have to solve that equation. So if I divide by negative 4 on both sides, I'm going to get a solution point of 8. So 8, 0 is what I can type in as my second point.